Welcome, everyone. I am Emily.
And I am David. You are listening to Speak English by Listening, the podcast where we help you improve your English simply by listening to natural conversations. Today, we are talking about something many of us experience: overthinking. Have you ever felt like your mind is stuck? Like you are thinking about problems again and again, but you cannot find a solution?
Yes, that feeling of being trapped in your own head can be very difficult. It's like your thoughts are on a loop. It stops you from moving forward sometime.
Exactly. Many people want to break free from this cycle. They want to stop thinking too much and start living more calmly.
And that's exactly what we will talk about today. We will explore what overthinking is and why it happens. More importantly, we will share some simple steps you can take to manage it. So let us begin with the basic question. What exactly is overthinking?
Well, simply put, overthinking means getting stuck in endless thoughts. It's when your mind keeps going over problems or fears or doubts, but the important part is that you do not find any solutions. You just keep thinking about the same things.
That is a very clear explanation. It's not helpful thinking, is it? It's more like unproductive thinking.
Precisely. And this kind of thinking can lead to some difficult feelings. For example, it can cause a lot of anxiety. When you overthink, you might feel worried or nervous all the time.
Yes, that feeling of constant worry is very draining. I've also heard that overthinking can lead to something called decision paralysis. Can you explain that?
Of course, decision paralysis means it becomes very difficult to make choices. Because you are thinking so much about all the possible problems or outcomes, you can't decide what to do. You become stuck.
That makes sense. It's like you're weighing too many options and can't pick one. And what about mental fatigue? What does that mean for someone who overthinks?
Mental fatigue simply means your mind feels very tired. When you are constantly thinking without a break, your brain becomes exhausted. It's like a muscle that has been used too much. This can make you feel tired even if you haven't done anything physical. So, to summarize, overthinking is when your thoughts loop without solutions. And it can bring anxiety, make it hard to decide things, and leave your mind feeling very tired. It is a big problem for many people.
Now that we understand what overthinking is, let us talk about why it happens. Why do our minds get stuck in this way?
That is an excellent question. One common reason is that it often feels like you're solving problems. You believe you're thinking deeply to find answers.
So it feels productive.
Exactly. But in reality, you are just looping the same worries over and over again. You are not moving towards a solution. You are simply replaying the problem in your head. It's like being on a treadmill. You're moving a lot, but you're not actually going anywhere.
That is a very good comparison. So our brain tricks us into thinking we are being helpful. What else can cause us to overthink?
A big one is the fear of making mistakes. People often overthink because they are afraid of choosing the wrong path or doing something incorrectly. They want to be perfect, so they keep analyzing every small detail.
Yes, the desire to avoid errors can really keep your mind busy.
Another strong trigger is trying to control everything. When we want to control every single outcome or every part of a situation, we tend to overthink. Life is full of uncertainties, and when we try too hard to manage what cannot be controlled, our minds become overwhelmed.
So it's about wanting certainty and perfection, and also the illusion of solving problems when we're just repeating worries. That makes a lot of sense. These are all very insightful reasons why we overthink. But the good news is we can learn how to break free from this cycle. So what is the first practical step we can take?
The very first step is to simply notice it. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. You need to recognize when your mind is stuck.
So it's about becoming aware of what is happening in your head, not just letting the thoughts control you.
Exactly. You become an observer of your own thoughts. When you feel that familiar feeling of being caught in endless thinking, stop for a moment, then ask yourself a direct question. Am I thinking too much right now?
That is a clear and simple question to ask. It helps you pause. What happens after you notice it? What is the next step?
Once you notice it, the second step is to question your thoughts. Do not just accept them as facts. Ask yourself, is this thought helpful right now? Or you could ask, am I just imagining problems that are not even real?
That makes sense. Our thoughts are not always true or useful. Sometimes our minds create problems that do not exist outside of our head.
Precisely. By asking if a thought is helpful, you are checking its value. If a thought is not leading you towards a solution or making you feel better, it might just be part of the overthinking cycle. It's about taking back control from those unhelpful thoughts.
So, the first two steps are to notice when you're overthinking and then to question if those thoughts are actually serving you. This helps us decide if we should keep giving them attention or let them go.
That is absolutely right. Once you have questioned those thoughts and found they are not helpful, what do you do with them? Our third practical step is to write it down.
Write it down? You mean like journaling?
Yes, exactly. Journaling is a great tool. When you write your thoughts, fears, or worries on paper, it helps organize them. They stop spinning in your head. It also releases mental pressure, making them feel less heavy.
That makes sense. Seeing words on paper can make them feel less overwhelming. It's like taking them out of your head.
Precisely. And this leads us to our next important strategy, focusing on what you can control.
That's a big one. We often worry about many things that are simply out of our hands.
True. A lot of overthinking comes from worrying about things we can't change, like future events. The key is to let go of what is uncertain.
So instead of thinking about all the what if scenarios, we should focus on what we can do now.
Yes. Ask yourself, what part of this situation can I actually influence? Put your energy there. When you act on what you can control, even in a small way, it calms your mind. You're taking action instead of just thinking. That makes a lot of sense. Taking action, even very small actions, can truly help to calm the mind.
Exactly. And that is our next important step. Take action, even if it is small. Many people wait for the perfect solution before they act. They think, I need to know everything before I do anything.
So, we should not wait for everything to be perfect before we start?
No, not at all. Waiting for perfection can lead to more overthinking. It can keep you stuck. But one small step forward, even a tiny one, can really calm your brain. It tells your mind that you are moving, that you are doing something.
Even something small like sending one email or making one phone call related to the problem.
Precisely. It breaks the cycle of endless thinking. It changes your focus from just thinking to also doing.
That is very helpful. What about when you feel like you are just stuck, even with small steps, and cannot move forward?
That brings us to our final practical tip for breaking free from overthinking. Talk it out.
Talk it out, meaning share your thoughts?
Yes, sharing your thoughts, your worries with someone you trust can be very powerful. It can be a friend, a family member, or a professional.
How does that help with overthinking?
When you speak your thoughts aloud, someone else can offer a different perspective. They might see something you missed, or they might have a different idea. It's like looking at your problem from another angle.
It also makes your worries feel smaller. When they're only in your head, they can seem huge and overwhelming. But when you say them out loud, they often become less frightening. It helps to release that mental pressure.
It's like getting them out into the open air, so they're not just swirling inside your head.
It's like getting them out into the open air, so they're not just swirling inside your head.
That's exactly right. So, we have talked about many useful ways to break free from overthinking. Remember, overthinking doesn't truly help you. It often delays your actions and drains your energy. It can make you feel tired when you haven't done anything physically.
Yes, it uses up all your mental energy. So, what is one clear step our listeners can take today?
Our best advice, the key to all of this, is to recognize overthinking early. So, your one action step for today is to practice noticing. When you feel stuck in your head, just ask yourself, am I thinking too much right now? Simply noticing is a powerful first step.
That is a very simple yet powerful action. Just becoming aware.
Precisely. And here is an empowering quote for you to remember. The mind is like a parachute. It works best when it is open. This means be open to new ways of thinking and let go of fixed ideas.
That is a wonderful thought. We truly hope this episode has given you some helpful tools to manage overthinking.
We hope so too. If you found this episode useful, please remember to subscribe to our podcast, Speak English by Listening, and leave us a comment. We love to hear your thoughts and questions.
Now, before we say goodbye, let us explain 3 useful words from our conversation today.
The first word is overthinking. This means to think about something too much or for too long. For example, if you worry about a small problem all day, you are overthinking. It often leads to no solution.
The second word is perspective. This means a particular way of looking at something or a point of view. When you talk to a friend, they might give you a new perspective on your problem, meaning a new way to see it.
And the third word is uncertainty. This means the state of being unsure or not knowing what will happen. For example, the future is full of uncertainty because we do not know what tomorrow will bring.
Thank you for listening to Speak English by Listening. We hope to talk with you again very soon.
Goodbye for now.